Hello. Some things that aren't ever discussed with memory bears, the memory bear business, or even like keepsakes, is the amount of time that it can take to design these orders. It's one thing to have one or two bears, but sometimes when you get orders of 13 to 15 bears from one customer, it can be really daunting. So one thing that you can do to make sure that you don't become like tired or wore out from that is to take regular breaks. I know when I had my very first large order, it was eight bears. And, nobody really talked about this at the time online about taking large orders, right? They only ever talked about one or two, or you would see pictures of it, but nobody ever actually spoke about it. And that's one thing I wanted to do with this channel, so retired, was to talk about some of the challenges in it, not to discourage you, but to actually encourage you. So if you focus on taking larger orders, I usually have large orders coming to me. Rarely do I have just one bear being made. I usually have individuals that want 5 or more. I've gotten real good in the ordering process and designing process, but it was very interesting, to say the least, at first. I kind of like doubted myself, like my skills and the ability to do that, because I thought, nobody else is talking about large orders for these memory bears, and I didn't have any type of training for it. I learned as I went. That's why I created that Keepsake Business Academy, so you, my viewers and friends, don't ever have to go through it alone. Going alone in this business is not for the faint of heart. But thankfully, I was used to making large orders of other types of products, so that helped a little bit. But when it came to like the actual memory bears and designing it, completely different ball game than my regular sewing and design business that I had for years and years. Should I say it 3 times? But yeah, so if you decide that you want to take on more of a challenge in your business and take larger orders, schedule yourself time, schedule breaks in between whatever it is you're working on. Sometimes, like when I had the order of 15, I gave myself some time off between the designing and the cutting of the fabric pieces. So I would design it, and then I would make sure I took a day off, and then the next day I'd sit down and like batch sew, and then I took a day off, and then I would stuff them, and it took about 2 to 3 days to stuff those 15 bears. And then I took some time off, like a day off. So don't be afraid to take a little bit of time off, but stay within your timeline that you promised your customers, because you don't want to let them down. But this is why it's like really important to prioritize yourself and your family and your work and your business and everything else. So definitely prioritize yourself too in that mix. You don't want to like be burned out, right? If you become burned out, nobody wins. Not you, not your family, not your customers, not your business, not anybody else. So hopefully you are able to take some of this information and make use of it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.